High school football for 2015 is here, and TV2 Sports Talk over the next couple of months will be on high school football here in Tuscarawas County. I'm WJER Radio Sports Director Bill Morgan, and over the next couple of months, we'll be telling you about different high school football teams here in the Valley. And you'll watch the best in high school football coverage, play-by-play with Scott Robinson. Our first replays Friday nights at 10:30. This week, our focus on New Philadelphia Quaker football as they begin the 2015 season under veteran head coach Matt Dennison. Coming up as this week's show continues, I'll talk with Coach Dennison about what lies ahead for the Quakers in 2015, and we'll talk with Quaker seniors Joe Delator, Tyler Carter, and Logan Ford, and junior quarterback Logan Bittekoffer. It's all when TV2 Sports Talk for Week 1 of the high school football season rolls on. This episode of Sports Talk is brought to you by J. Dempson and Son Concrete. After this rough winter, you may need to repair or replace your patio, sidewalk, steps, or driveway. If you're considering any of these projects, give J. Dempson and Son Concrete a call at 330-795-0169 for a free estimate. Keep your home looking its best with J. Dempson and Son, with over 55 years of combined experience making satisfied customers.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
TV2 Sports Talk continuing on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Week 1 of the high school football season, our focus on the New Philadelphia Quakers. Happy to be joined by Quaker 13th year head coach Matt Dennison. Coach, you guys have worked, I think sometimes people come out on that first Friday night and they think you guys have been practicing for 2 weeks and getting things ready to go. Really, football's turned in, like a lot of other sports, to a year-round situation. As you guys have worked through the summer and you get ready for kickoff against Canton Central Friday night, your strengths.
Well, yeah, as you said, we've been working out since January, and our kids play a lot of other sports, but when they're not in the sport, they're in the weight room and they're doing their speed development. So our kids have really come around this year, and we've got a good bunch. We've got 7 back both sides of the ball. So experience, where last year that was our big question mark. We had 19 new starters. This year we only have about 6 or 8 new starters, and a lot of those guys have seen a lot of time. So our experience is going to help us, and then we have some talented kids at different spots.
Coach, when you talk about trying to develop something here at New Philadelphia that hasn't been done before, winning a game in the playoffs, you guys have won some league crowns, you've gotten into the playoffs several times. What do you have to do, I guess, in general, and maybe with this year's team in specific, to get into that postseason and win a game?
Well, I think it's a progression, and we've been right on the cusp a couple times of winning games. Last year we played Tri-Valley very tough in a year that a lot of people didn't even think we'd come close to getting into the playoffs. So we've got to peak at the right time, and we got to continue to get better each and every week, even late into the season.
New Philadelphia head coach Matt Dennison talking about the 2015 high school football season that is now here. Coach, tell us offensively where you guys think, hey, we're going to be pretty good at this year. And I know a lot of that starts with the quarterback in Logan Bittekoffer, but you like those guys up in front of Logan.
Yeah, I think our line is a dynamic line. I think we've got Joe Delator back that started last year. We have Kyle Swinman that started last year, and they were probably arguably our 2 best linemen last year coming back. And then Ryan Dabrico's coming out. He's a 6'4", 300-pounder. You got Seth Parker, who's also about about 6'3", 6'4", and he's about 220, 230, and he's really athletic. And then Zach Ryan's really fit in, and I think those guys really move as good as any group we've had. We are very quick up front, and they're very aggressive. So, they've done a great job in getting themselves ready for the year. And then, you step behind it, and you got the quarterback that had 1,600 yards passing as a sophomore, and a lot of his targets that he likes are back. So, with those guys in front, with the passing dynamics we have, and then we have a good core of 4 good running backs that can tote the ball. And I think, I told our coaches, we got 4 guys that are capable of running for 1,000 yards, I think.
Coach, tell us about Logan's development at quarterback. You mentioned he started at quarterback a year ago, very early in the season. He stepped into that starting lineup. What has been his biggest growth and development area in terms of improvement since the beginning of that 10th grade year?
Well, boy, he's really learned the game. He was always a heady kid. He was always a smart kid in the quarterback position. But through the off season, through his film development, through his training, he's really become a student of the game. He knows coverages. He understands fronts. He understands what to look for, and that on top of his God-given ability, which he can wing it, man. He can throw the ball as well as anybody we've ever had, and we've had some pretty good ones here. So on top of that, I think he's the smartest quarterback we've had.
Quaker head coach Matt Dennison on TV2 Sports Talk this week. Coach, let's flip it to the other side of the football. While fans in general tend to get pretty excited about offense, I know you guys are excited about what Seth Watson has on defense.
Yeah, defensively, again, we've got 7, 8 guys starting that return on the defensive side of the ball. Most of our front is back. Logan Ford had a great year last year, as did Tucker Hill, and those 2 guys were the core of our defensive line last year. And you throw in Skylar Postel up front, they're a group that can get after it and play very fast. At the linebacker position, we got Blake Boland back, we got Kyle Cunningham back. We throw Lucas Kimball into the mix, we throw Lincoln Seelock into the mix, and we've got a good group there. And then the secondary, we got 2 of the 3 back, and Tyler Carter and Micah Crowther. So, we're really, we got a lot of guys back and a lot of guys that can really run and play.
Coach, as we wrap up our conversation, we talk offense, we talk defense. Tell us about special teams, whether we're talking about place kicking, punting, or your return game.
Lucas Gooding's going to take over the kicking, and he's really progressed. He came out last year, and now he's focused all his efforts on kicking, and I think he's good from about 45 in pretty consistently, and he's really flirting with the goal line on the kickoff. So we're hoping within that first couple weeks to get most of his kickoffs going in the end zone. In the high school game, if you can get the ball in the end zone, that's an 80-yard field the team starts with, and that's a big advantage for the defense. So we got him doing that. Logan Bitterkoffer will do the punting responsibilities as he did last year. Our returning snapper and Kyle Perkins, he's really good at it, and so we got a lot back in that part of the game also.
Coach, certainly we appreciate your time as the season opens up. We'll talk to you all season long.
Thanks, Bill.
It's New Philadelphia head coach Matt Dennison on TV2 Sports Talk. Coming up, as this week's show continues, we'll talk with some of the players that'll help make this team go in 2015. We're talking New Philadelphia Quaker football this week on DMG Channel 2.
Hi, I'm Elaine Miller with Naturally Green Cleaning Service. My company serves both commercial and residential clients. We do general cleaning, spring and fall, empty homes to get them move-in ready, and final cleans for new construction. We use eco-friendly cleaning products that leave your home or office fresh, clean, and safe for you, your family, pets, or coworkers. Our focus at Naturally Green is to provide excellent customer service paired with outstanding work to build a relationship of trust with you, our clients. Having served the area 4+ years, we have had many referrals and testimonials that you can access on our website at www.naturallygreencs.com. Our work sells itself, therefore we have never had any contracts even with our largest commercial accounts. Call us today for your free quote and see what makes our company stand out.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on.
TV2 Sports Talk focused on New Philadelphia Quaker football this week as the 2015 high school football season kicks off. Always glamour, right, on the offensive side of the ball. The quarterbacks, the running backs. But the quarterbacks and the running backs don't get their job done without the big fellas up front. Joined by two of those guys now, Joe Delator, who plays both offensive and defensive line, and Logan Ford, who plays on the defensive line as well. Joe, we'll start with you, playing on both sides of the ball. What do you like more, playing on that O-line or the D-line?
I gotta say the D-line is way more fun. You know, you get to knock some people around out there, and just a good time.
Joe, tell us a little bit about the development of your game from when you came into this program and grew as a freshman and a sophomore, and now into your second year as a regular starter. What do you think you've improved the most?
Well, when I came in as a freshman and a sophomore, as a freshman I only started on offensive line, and I wasn't really considered much of a defensive player. But from my sophomore into junior year, I really grew as being in the weight room every day and working on technique and all that, and I came to become a two-way starter as a junior and now as a senior.
Joe Delator and Logan Ford are our guests on TV2 Sports Talk as we preview Quaker football for the 2015 season. Logan, you had a spectacular year in 2014. I guess going into the year, how confident were you a year ago, and how did that confidence grow throughout the years? You seem to make big play after big play.
Well, I mean, you can't get too confident, but compared to last year, I didn't think I would be any good, but I'm pretty confident going in this year.
He didn't think he was going to be any good. He had a spectacular year along the defensive line. Now, Logan, going into this year, what do you feel that you've improved?
I got to say the same thing as Joe. My strength has improved tremendously thanks to Coach D. That's pretty much it.
Logan Ford and Joe Delator are our guests as we talk Quaker football this week on TV2 Sports Talk from DMG Channel 2. Joe, I've known you and your family for quite a long time. Your dad was a high school football player. He's all still into it now. How much does Dad try and coach you after practice or after a game? Does he leave that to Coach D? How's that all go when you leave the field?
He leaves it to Coach D. He likes to come and watch the practices, but he kind of just stays out of it and just cheers me on from the sideline and our whole team.
Tell us a little bit about what Coach and the players have set as goals for this coming year.
We plan to make a statement this year. We come out and we made our minds up that we're going to be undefeated this year, and we're going to be the best team in school history and win our first playoff game.
Now, when you talk about the Canton Central Catholic matchup in Game 1, obviously they were an outstanding team a year ago. They were the state runner-up in their division. How much do you guys know about them as you prep for Friday night?
We got some film on them. We plan to be very ready within these next 4 days practicing. It's going to be a good game, and I hope everyone can make it out for it.
The game is at Canton Central Catholic. You'll be able to hear it Friday night on 1450 WJER, our sister radio station, as well as online at WJER.com. Logan, let's go off the field with you. Who's your favorite football player, whether that's a guy at the collegiate or the NFL levels?
Well, I got to say my all-time favorite was Reggie White. He's just a tremendous athlete.
When you talk about, I guess, maybe trying to model your game, is that somebody you try and model your game after, or is that simply something else you focus on?
Absolutely. He's he's second in all-time sacks, so that's a great role model.
When we talk about the good year that you had last year, Logan, I guess, do you have any special memories from maybe a particular play you made in a particular game?
That'd probably be the Zanesville game in the fourth quarter when I got the sack when they were going for the drive.
Logan Ford along with Joe Delator, two of our guests as we focus on Quaker football this week on DMG Channel 2 from Time Warner Cable. Joe, looking ahead, you're a senior. I guess take us off the field with you in terms of what are your plans for college? Any idea yet on where you want to go and what you might major in?
Not really sure where I would like to go yet, but I would like to pursue a profession in physical therapy. It'd take a lot of work, but that's really something I want to work towards with my grades and getting my ACT score up as well.
When you look back at what has been your high school career, both as a student and an athlete, is it hard to believe as you guys get ready for kickoff and classes already back in session that your senior year is here, or is this something you've looked forward to a long time and you're glad it's here and come late May you'll be graduating?
It's kind of hard to believe it's here, but I'm really glad it's here. I looked forward to this my entire high school career. I'm really glad it's here. It's going to be a fun one.
Joe Delatorre and Logan Ford as we talk Quaker football, two of the big guys up front for this Quaker football team. Logan playing along the defensive line and Joe playing on both the defensive and offensive lines as well. Logan, we talked with Joe about some of the team goals headed into this year. Do you have individual goals or set individual goals?
I really would like to have 1 sack a game at least and more than 2 tackles.
Logan Ford along with Joe Delatorre. Joe, your job on the offensive line, you're right in the middle as the center. I guess to sort of take us through coming out of a huddle, what are you doing pre-snap as you come to the line with the team?
Well, first is to get the play from the huddle. Logan Bidikoff, our quarterback, he does a great job of really getting us focused in there, getting us nice and tight. And then after that, we break the huddle and we sprint to the line. And then it's all about locating and finding the blitz and deciding whether the players they're going to be playing a stunt or a slant or all, and then getting your first and second steps right, along with snapping the ball.
Joe Delatorre and Logan Ford on TV2 Sports Talk coming up. As this week's show rolls on, we'll talk with another Logan Bidikoff, this team's quarterback, along with senior Ty Carter about their roles in the upcoming 2015 campaign. That's all when TV2 Sports Talk rolls on.
As a parent, we always want what's best for our child. In the case of one child, it may be going off to college. In another case, staying home and going to college. And yet, in other cases, it could be going right into the workforce. But how will they have the skills to do that? Buckeye Career Center has been the answer for one of our daughters. She's learning to do things with her hands that are going to be very valuable for her in the workplace. And we're excited we have Buckeye to thank for that.
Adults who return to Buckeye Career Center to continue their education usually have one goal in mind. They want the opportunity for a better job. The fact is, adult education programs at Buckeye Career Center are less expensive and provide greater opportunities for job placement following graduation. It's your future. Get the facts. Buckeye Career Center. We put people to work. Find out more about your future at buckeyecareercenter.org.
WJER and TV2 would like to introduce you to a new website, WJERTV2.com, where you can watch exciting high school football, soccer, and volleyball replays from TV2 Sports on your home computer, smartphone, or tablet. Also watch the latest episodes of TV2's original programming, Sports Talk, The Garden Girl, The Not So Shy Chef, Off the Record, and Medical Minutes, as well as catch up on local community news and search for local businesses. So make sure to check out the new WJERTV2.com community website where everything's local.
TV2 Sports Talk taking a look at high school football this week. New Philadelphia Quaker football, to be exact. Happy to be joined in the latter half of the show by Quaker junior quarterback Logan Bidikoff to my right and Quaker senior Tyler Carter to my left. Ty, Quaker fans, if they're true red and black Quaker fans, are pretty familiar that you've got the older siblings who have had great athletic success here in Jamal Johnson and Jada Carter. Does that put any kind of pressure on you, or is that something you simply learned to live with over the years?
No pressure at all. I just simply wipe it off my shoulder, and I just try to make a name for myself, you know.
When you talk about making a name for yourself, you've got abilities on both sides of the ball and in the return game, whether we're talking about the defensive backfield, in the offensive backfield, or in the kick return game. If you could pick one of those three areas that you enjoy the most and excel in, which one would it be?
I like playing defense the most because I like to, instead of take the blow, give the blow, you know.
Tyler Carter, he is a senior defensive back, running back, and return specialist for this Quaker football team as the 2015 season gets ready to start, coming up Friday night at Canton Central Catholic. Logan, everybody thought that at some point in time last year you'd get some playing time. Brett got a little bit banged up early last year. You stepped in and really played well. I guess tell us what you think about the areas you've grown in the most in terms of you've gotten better at this, better at that as the season went along last year and headed into this year.
Well, as the season went along last year, I got more acclimated to the game. it was a lot faster than what I was used to. But with the help of my teammates and the help of my teammates this year, we've got better, and my footwork and escaping the pocket and reading my keys down the field, I've got a lot better at.
I've been fortunate enough to know both Logan and Tyler's families for extended periods of time. Now, people who know Logan, this is not going to be any bulletin, what I'm about to say, but I have to have him break down. He's a great quarterback for the Quakers, no question. His best sport is probably bowling. Break down your bowling game for us, Logan.
Well, it's been quite a while since I bowled, but yeah, I used to bowl when I was younger because my grandparents owned the bowling alley, but I like to stick to football now.
So you sort of focus on football. I mean, I'm thinking you could have been like a PBA guy had you choose to stick with bowling.
Well, that's kind of what I was hoping for when I was younger, but now that I started playing football, I love football so much, and I just want to keep playing.
Logan Biddecoffer, junior quarterback, he'll be leading the Quakers offense coming up Friday night when they head to take on Canton Central Catholic. Tyler, you talked about liking to play in the defensive backfield. I guess tell us about your backfield running mates, if you will, defensively, in terms of the other guys who will be back there helping you defend the pass.
We have Christian Taylor. He's also a senior. He's first year, new to the role, but he's filling the job very well. He's out at wide corner. He's been producing a lot, learning the position, and I think he fits it pretty well. And we have Micah at free safety. He's a senior. This is his second year in our secondary returning. He's just continually to succeed and do his thing back there.
We talked about Tyler being involved in the Quakers return game, both on kickoff returns and punt returns. And I heard a lot of the casual football fans over the years, Tyler, talk about specifically when it comes to punt return. You're back there. You're usually the only guy back there. Here comes that high spiraling or even an end-over-end kick. How did you get to the point where you had the intestinal fortitude, maybe, to wait on that ball when there's 11 guys screaming down the field looking for the first opportunity to knock you about 15 yards back?
Well, first I just had trust in my teammates to at least get a chip on them to slow them down a little bit. And if I did end up getting hit pretty hard, I would just get back up like most things you have to do in life.
When you talk about, I guess, taking the next step, whether it's athletically or academically, with you being a senior, Logan a junior, I guess what's ahead for you when May gets here, just over our shoulder, you guys will graduate. What are your plans for the future?
Plan on attending college. I don't know where I want to go yet, but if I get an offer somewhere to play, I would love to play over academics.
New Philadelphia senior Tyler Carter, and as we wrap up with junior quarterback Logan Biddecoffer, Logan, what is maybe one or two things Coach Dennison, Coach Miller has stressed with you? Hey, Logan, if we're going to get to that next level, if we're going to beat Dover for the second time in 3 years, if we're going to win a game in the playoffs, what is something you have to do individually to help lead this team?
Well, they say almost every practice that I have to sweat the details, make sure that I'm leading the team on and off the field, making sure everybody is doing their job so we can win.
It is Logan Biddecoffer, New Philadelphia junior quarterback, and senior running back and defensive back and return specialist Tyler Carter on TV2 Sports Talk. You'll be able to watch the best coverage of high school football play-by-play all season long right here on TV2. And then be sure to join us for another edition of TV2 Sports Talk coming up next week here on DMG Channel 2.